Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. You hear statements all the time about Islam as a religion of peace, the peaceful religion of Islam, and especially Islam means peace. These types of statements should be avoided at all costs, especially by Muslims, because they create this misconception about what Islam is and what it truly means. I want to be clear. Islam is not a religion of peace, nor does it mean peace. People hear these words, and with most things that we see on television and in the media, people have this narrow kind of vision. I like to call it tunnel vision. They see something at the end of the tunnel, but they can't see everything else around it. So by saying that Islam means peace when it doesn't is creating a lot of confusion and misconceptions, because you see a guy strap on a bomb and blow people up. How peaceful is that? And I totally understand why people are all up in arms and saying, how can you be a religion of peace when Muslims are doing these kind of things? Islam itself is a way of life, and the word literally translates to submission. As Muslims, we submit to the will of Allah, which is the name of the creator of the heavens and the earth, and is a unique word without plural and gender. As it says in the Quran, Qul huwa Allahu ahad, which simply translates as say, Allah, He is the one. Arabic is a root language, and the root of Islam has 3 letters, Sin, Lam, and Mim. These translate in English to be S, L, and M. Together, these 3 letters are Salam, which means literally peace. So linguistically, yes, when people say Islam means peace, what they're referring to is the fact that Islam has its roots in peace from a linguistic standpoint. As individuals, we all have different objectives in our life. Some people want money, power, women, others want love, happiness, marriage, children, and the list goes on. And each of these objectives is unique to the individual. Some people have similarities, others have differences. Some people want to get married, some people don't. The way of life that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has called Islam is a set of guidelines or tools, if you will, that help us in our daily lives to obtain the objectives that we have set for ourselves. One of these objectives is known as peace. Peace has many aspects and different levels, but again, it is just an objective. Something else that's important and that should be always considered is the fact that when you're trying to set objectives and goals, you have to be balanced about it. And again, this is what Islam helps us with. It helps us to be balanced in our life. It helps us to be balanced in our objectives. I want peace, but I also have to balance it with other aspects of my life. I want a good job, a family, children. I have to balance all of these things or else I'll never be successful. All the time you see people who are living a certain lifestyle and making lots and lots of money, but they're still so unhappy. They turn to drugs and alcohol and other diversions to find something that they're lacking. And this is because they have an unbalanced lifestyle. Devoting all your time and energy to make money, other things have to give. You end up sacrificing other aspects of your life, such as relationships. And one of the worst things of all about striving for worldly possessions, material objects, houses, cars, one of the biggest things that we lose is time. All of these things are benefits to our lives, and we need them to be successful in this life because we can't be driven just by the material. In our society, we work 40, 60, 70, 80 hours a week to have a big bank account. And people pile up tons and tons of money, and what happens when they die? Now, by following the guidelines of Islam, we can obtain these objectives. But keep one thing in mind. This doesn't mean that we're going to be 100% happy all the time. We are told in the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says He will try us, and He will test us to see how sincere we are in our belief. So a couple things to remember. Islam is not peace. Peace is an objective. And we can obtain that objective through the tools which Islam brings us. So remember that Islam is a way of life given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as guidance for all mankind. And through the guidance of Islam and the teachings, we can obtain many objectives in our lives, one of which is peace. So I hope that helps you distinguish between the two, and I hope you do find whatever you're looking for in this life. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you.